Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Ivan, Alex, iwards and upwards. We're a bit
Well, here
late.
we go.
We're a bit late with the post-match the sort of reaction slash the roundup of the 9 games of the season going into the second international break. But yet, here we are. Um, I guess we're gonna start straight to the point. How was the game for you? Did you enjoy the game?
No, no, I was very disappointed. Why? Because the last time these two teams played, it was actually pretty good, and it didn't go in favour for Wrexham.
Mm-hmm.
But Birmingham they were really strong.
Mm-hmm.
They were accurate. They were technical, and they were out there to win. But on that game, it just didn't feel that way at all for each team. Can't get my head around the reasons why.
Well, I agree with you. I did not enjoy the game either. I think it was more of a comedy of mistakes.
Yep.
Maybe it was the weather. Maybe it was something else from both teams. But if anything, I guess the sort of simplifying the result, I think Birmingham was closer to winning.
Yep.
Then Wrexham, and they actually scored a second goal, which was disallowed. A good goal, actually. A very good finish.
Yep.
No one. So far, the results are very much predictable. Like you predicted 1-1 in the interim when we I wasn't sure just because the game felt like it was just very unsettled. It was still a lot of sort of that pinball kind of football.
Could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way, but you nailed it straight away. I don't. The biggest problem right now with what's going on, I don't feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like looking at the way the team plays, looking at the way the same mistakes are repeated over and over again, looking at the way the team plays that predictable football to the yard, to the tee. It's the same stuff every game, and that gets to the point when it just becomes really, really boring.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing now is a true reflection for what's going to happen for the rest of the season. Nothing else is dramatically going to change. Even, for example, at the Christmas break, where Wrexham are going to be sitting is most likely above the relegation zone. I don't think they're going to get sucked down into the relegation zone. I think that they're going to have a very tough October and November, just with the schedule that they've got. Some of the big teams, we've seen the way that Coventry has been an unstoppable force. They've got Middlesbrough, Stoke, and they've got cup games in there. If they get into the 5th round, if they beat Cardiff, then we might be looking at playing a Premier League team.
Yeah.
It's going to be around the time that we start to see the usual injuries. If we start following in trend of all the other seasons, it's going to be pretty much a reflection of, I think, what Parky's trying to do now is just stay where he is. Like, it's survival. The most important thing, if you exclude Parky from it all, the most important thing right now is just staying in the championship, right?
Yeah, well, we were talking about it before the season started. Like I was never one of those who said like we're going to get promoted, we're going to get into playoffs. It's all about, especially like I know that. Look, we're going to be honest. The players are good. Like the players that we got, they're good players.
Yeah.
They, because of the lack of coaching and the lack of the actual playable system, we're looking at something that kind of holds the players back.
Yeah.
They work really hard.
Yeah.
They are, again, no surprises there. They're getting overplayed.
Yeah.
A lot of them playing borderline injured. We are seeing the same players start every game, which should not be happening.
Yep.
It should not be happening. We should be seeing fresh faces, consistent rotation, especially if, for whatever reason, they decided to stay in the cup a little bit longer.
Yep.
And we don't even have an FA Cup starting yet.
No.
So we're just talking about the League Cup.
That's right.
So same story repeats itself.
Yep.
Do I feel like something's going to change? Yeah, we're probably going to pick up a random win here and there, but again, a lot of the guys right now and girls online after the game, what I'm seeing is that They find certain elements of progress.
Yep.
I don't see it, because all I see is that better players, better individuals are able to execute better, but on the same patterns.
Yep.
There is no tactical or operational progress whatsoever. Just like I said before, it's predictable to the letter. Same thing every time.
Yeah, the good way of what I really like about how you see a game is like how a coach sees a game, not just focusing on individual wins or individual performances. If anyone's read the headlines from the Birmingham game, you'll see that like Dobson, for example, got some praise his way. Always good for a player to get a goal. It's always healthy for people to get recognized for their kind of positive input. The issue is that it's not painting a bigger picture of what's actually going on, right? And the way that you always sum it up perfectly every game is stop zoning in on those individual aspects of it, because you'll just get caught up on nonsense. It's great, yeah, you get a win, you get a draw, but you just focus on the bigger picture of what's happening. Yeah,
that's right. Well, what we always talk about is that focus on the system.
Yeah,
the wins, the results should be almost an unfortunate byproduct of the system that you play.
Yeah,
I say it time and time again. Are things that the team, other things that you are doing as a team, are they replicable, and are they repeatable in the good and a positive sense of those words? This game, the last game against Birmingham, first half, there was a couple of big opportunities, but they were presents. They were gifts from the opposition, mistakes, and they still did not get capitalized on.
Yep.
So the fact that we have opportunities does not mean that we're creating them.
Yep.
So the goal that was scored of a restart of a corner.
Yep.
And that's what Wrexham's been doing under Parkinson for years now.
Yep.
Is relying on set pieces, relying on corner, something that will bring you results every now and then.
Yep.
But for the rest of the approach, the rest of the setup that team has, doesn't matter what formation they go out in, it all falls down to the same old routine. Big long ball up to the front man, fight for the second ball. That doesn't work. Try to do a quick wall pass, scoop the ball over into the free area on the flank, ran through, deliver across. Kabore playing half injured now because obviously he's going to be overplayed. Good crosses are not going in. Crosses are unpredictable.
Yep.
From the other sides, Longman is not delivering good crosses either, because to be honest, they don't know what to do. They swing the ball in. They don't know where that ball needs to go. There is a very obvious lack of coaching. From the center, there is literally nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero. Kiefer is playing half injured. He's not the kind of forward that's going to dribble through defenders and deliver your results. He's a finisher. He's a poacher. He needs to be used in the right manner.
Yep.
He's not. Despite all this, let's step away from who is coaching, who is playing. Actually, looking just objectively at the way the team performs, where Wrexham is now, like 18th, 17th place, it's not the worst result. It's not the worst case result. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I think we have to understand that the quality of the players that Parky's brought in it's there for everyone to see. Like, there is some
decent players.
There's decent players. Like, I know Josh Windass hasn't played every game. He might be injured again for coming back from an injury too early. Hopefully he's good for the next one. But I really think that some of these guys are holding their own, and they are getting the results, whether it's through the luck, through some form. It's through the experience, of course. Like, these are seasoned players that we've got on the field, right?
Football IQ, mainly. Yeah,
absolutely.
Collective football IQ.
Yeah. Kaburi's showing that as well. I think he's going to play. Yeah, he's well skilled. He's kind of playing his own game out there.
Yep.
He's added a lot of pace to the wing, which is brilliant to see. You've got you've got O'Brien, you've got Kiefer, who can get on the end of his balls, like loves to cross them in from the right. But yeah, it's not sustainable, which is the reason why they're not doing what the likes of Coventry, Leicester, Stoke are doing right now, because it's the same play, it's the same 1980s dance moves, right? It's
Yep.
Yeah, you just become too predictable, and that's where that's what Wrexham's biggest downfall is right now.
Yeah, predictability. Same thing over and over again. And Will, how are you doing, buddy? I see your comment there. Surely Parky has a plan B next week. Yeah, next week plan B on the training pitch. They're gonna have another scrimmage. I listened to the interview, by the way. I listened, like I don't want to, but I kind of have to because of this. And I'm not sure what game Parkinson is watching. He was talking about how they played a good game again. I don't really want to say anything about his interview. It's getting to the point of complete ridiculousness. But what I think is that despite players playing, they playing in spite of coaching, in spite of a setup, they still manage to create something. They still fighting really hard every game. I think that so far there is a lot of positives with regards to where the team is not being in the relegation zone, because as trivial as it sounds, I say it again, it could be a lot worse.
Well, you could be Sheffield United.
Yeah, quite easily.
I mean, Wrexham aren't going out every single game and losing 5-0.
Yeah.
Which means they're doing something right. That there are things that are happening. There are chances. We are seeing positives in the plays. The issue is just that it's the consistency. We're just having a chat to one of our mates before about Premier League talk. Arsenal this season. They're playing consistently. They are just dominating the way that you have to be up there.
They're playing good. They're playing good football.
Good football.
I remember I had a talk with one of the guys that I used to work with.
Yep.
He was a aviation engineer.
Okay.
And we were talking about. I'm not sure exactly what the conversation was about, but what he said was really cool. He said that ugly planes usually don't fly too well. So we're talking about how planes are usually quite beautiful. It's a beautiful creation.
Yep.
Like you look at the plane, it's usually quite, mesmerizing. They look good. And he said that, the ugly planes don't fly too well.
Yep.
Same as with football teams. Ugly football usually don't play too well.
Yep.
So up until the coaching is up to speed and the game becomes pretty, because like we were saying, like, did you enjoy the game? No, I didn't enjoy the game either. Have you enjoyed a single game this season of Wrexham, like that you watched? Have you actually enjoyed any game?
I wouldn't say a whole game.
Yeah.
No, like there's been halves like to some of the games which actually I've gone, oh, you know what, that wasn't that bad. Like it's still like, for championship level, as I've told you a few times, like I've watched championship like since the creation of the championship, and the way, like the level that it is now compared to where it used to be, it's a delight to watch. There's some really, really good football played most part.
Yep.
Now, of course, you are still going to get your elevator teams to League One who are just never really going to play that well. It's still going to be that gritty, ugly 90s style football. But for the most part, Wrexham are not showing that decent football that the other teams are playing, which just it's not fun to watch. Like, okay, yeah, you're still kind of caught up in the fact is you still like the team, you're still following the team, you want to see the players do well, you want to see your kind of biggest stars, you want to see Kiefer Moore get a goal, and because that's the kind of things that's still in my mind.
Yeah.
What is if I haven't watched the game, if I've gone and watched the highlights, or who have I seen that scored, straight away I want to see like Moore's name on that spreadsheet, which I think is quite consistent. I do that with some of the other teams as well. You want to make sure that your talismans are getting the goals. We did that with Mullen back in the day.
Yeah,
you would always be like, oh, Mullen didn't get a goal today, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, going back to the original question, do you have fun? Do you enjoy watching the games? Like, do you like aesthetically? Is it aesthetically pleasing?
In comparison to
like just
all
like,
the other football,
yeah,
no,
don't even compare to anything. Like
no,
you're watching, are you having fun? I don't.
no.
Like I find a moment of brilliance here and there, which is looking good. Like Windass scored a nice goal, or there will be nice quick progression pass from the from a flank play, like a quick wall play. But it's seconds out of 90+ minutes. It's literally seconds.
Maybe we can agree on a point here, but I reckon the last game of Wrexham that I enjoyed watching was Notts County.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the last decent game that I think we
honestly
watched, yeah.
Thinking back to like a good performance, that was probably the last game where you saw two teams playing well, playing different styles, but playing well. It was good display, good football. And that's you. Once I would like, I just would like to see a good high quality game of football, not perfect, not, I don't want to see it's not a Premier League level. I'm not talking about that. It doesn't have to be tiki-taka, but it has to be cohesive. I need to see a plan. I need to see development. I need to see progression. I need to see learning from your mistakes. I need to see simple things like maybe start rotating players a little bit more. Like we're going down, right down to basics. Maybe sub the players that are injured, or sub them earlier. Like grassroots things. Start showing some kind of development, not just changing players and subbing players and one for one. I would like to see a cohesive, progressional, promising picture. That's what I want to see. I don't expect you to get promoted. I don't expect you to get into playoffs. I just want to see a base, a developed base that can be built. I really enjoyed watching Leicester play. And they were not playing. They still made mistakes. They conceded a goal. They drew the game at home against a weaker team objectively. But the way they played, I look at them. I see the way they're combining. I see the way they're changing tempo. I see the way that the game, the way the play is designed, and I see how they can change from plan A to plan B and things in between. And I understand, looking at the team, that yes, maybe today was not their day. Maybe today things didn't go quite right, but they have a future. I don't see that looking at Wrexham. No,
not the way that it's going. And you can't even be saying, oh, what's the quick fix? Like what's going to happen for the rest of this season for that to happen? It's not going to be the case of when the summer transfer window opens, who's he going to bring in? Who's he going to get rid of?
More
because
players,
it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same, like, because it's been consistent since Parky's been in charge since the National League, right? And the longer he stays, it's just going to be the same stuff. Like if Wrexham's plan is to stay mid to lower table in the Championship, then sure, keep him around. But if they actually want a decent chance at fighting for even a playoff spot, which, going back to the owners of the club, are not going to want Wrexham sitting in the Championship for the next 10 to 15 years. That's what they've got to, like, if they actually want to start showing some promising results, like a decent football, they're gonna have to start accepting some.
Absolutely right. Like, what do you want to see in the end? Do you want to pump in endless amount of money? Like, you spent 30+ million pounds this year. You usually don't spend that kind of money, even if it's your first transfer window and you're still building your depth. I get all that. You don't spend that kind of money to sit lower mid-table. You know? It's like you bought yourself a bunch of supercars. You bought yourself a bunch of supercar parts. But you assembled them together. But you still have a tractor driver at the steering wheel. Who's still driving that vehicle as he would drive a tractor. And it's not gonna change.
No.
Like, if you want, just like you said, if you want to sit at the basement, if you want to, like, what difference does it make if you finish 12th or 17th? Does it really matter? It doesn't really. Like, it's, like, if you're still in that, like a turd.
Well, it's perception, right?
I know, but like,
you're right. Like, staying in the same league, whether you get into the playoff and you lose a playoff compared to finishing just above relegation, the result is the same. Like, you don't get any more money, I don't think.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think so.
What it comes down to, and Will, really good question that you just said there about would it be a Parky failure if he finishes less than 12th place? It's the perception of the owners and the sponsors, right? So the fans will just be happy, more or less, if Wrexham just stay in the Championship, which I know like all of us will be as well, because going back down to League One is a massive failure. That's just going to destroy everything.
It's not going to happen unless something goes completely wrong. Yeah.
But like I don't think people are going to judge too much if it is a top 12 finish, because that's a good result for your first year inside one of the most difficult leagues on the planet. Anyone that's still talking about why we're not fighting for promotion is just not been paying attention, or their head is so far in the clouds it's not even funny. But you say like spending the 12th most amount of money in the league this year, like you could say Birmingham have done the same, right? That they came in, they splashed a massive amount of cash. Money just doesn't buy results.
No,
look at Manchester United. Chelsea a few seasons ago, similar, right?
You're absolutely right. But what I think I got misunderstood a little bit, and by you as well, because I think I was not quite clear about what I was saying. What I was saying is that does it matter where you finish, 12th or 17th, if you're not building for the future?
Yeah, it's all about building for the future.
Yeah, I mean, right now, even if you bring an amazing coach right now, somebody young, somebody who has original ideas, somebody who has that fresh, intuitive and ingenuitive view on football. The things are not going to turn around instantly.
No.
You still need another season, another transfer window, maybe 2, maybe 3, to build and develop and educate players. The longer the team plays this castrated style of football that we're playing right now, the longer they are delaying the inevitable, that sooner or later this will have to change, and it will just take longer. Because that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't matter where you finish. What does matter is that, are you building a base? Are you building something?
That's the biggest priority of what Wrexham needs to do, right? A youth academy. Like, they need to be like the sponsors has always been there. The money is fine for Wrexham. That's where a lot of teams in the Championship suffer, because they say, we need to build that base to get the money in, because like if we're not playing decent football, the sponsors won't want to stay with us. That's the way it normally works in football, right? Or in any sport.
And I'm not even talking about infrastructure, academy stands. I'm even talking about the style that you play. Because a lot of people ask why Parkinson doesn't sub, why he plays the same people into the ground season after season, month after month. Why the subs are late again? Because there is no designed system that people can be slotted in. He relies on old school osmosis. If you sub too many people too fast, the team that in his mind, the way he plays them, the team chemistry falls apart. And that's, I think, is the answer, is because there is no tactical setup that players are being subbed into. That's why he doesn't trust those subs to go in and play, or he doesn't trust fresh players to start every second game.
Right.
I think. Would you agree with that? Like,
absolutely.
What is the other reason not to sub earlier?
No. There's none at all, because he not only is he not rotating through his players as much as he should be. Let's look at the last game. 70th minute was the first players come. Matty James, Broadhead coming on, and then 88th minute, Barnett and Scar coming on. McLean. It's like he's just doing that because he's. Is it like more for a stamina?
I have no answer that apart from what I just,
because he wasn't trying to change the tactic of what he was doing.
No,
the dynamic,
one for one.
The dynamic of the game didn't change at all, right? Like trying to go through, like even in the way that the formation's going, it's nothing's really happening. Barnett, coming on for Kabori, like 88th minute, it's not like Barnett's going to start crossing in more.
No, just look at system-wise, nothing changed.
No.
Tactically, nothing changed. Operationally, nothing changed. So even though what was he playing for? Was he playing for a point at this point? Was he making subs to win the game? Was he making subs to maintain the possession and maybe try to develop something more meaningful in attack and score another one?
Yeah.
Was he trying to make a sub to hold on to the point? I could not understand. I just like I said, nothing had changed. Substantially, nothing had changed.
He doesn't trust his players because it's like he's going out to just try and rescue a draw against the bigger teams, which is if you are your Sheffield Wednesdays, for example, like that's your game plan. It's like survival. It's pure survival. If we get a draw, especially at home, if we get a draw against these big teams, brilliant. We'll focus on the mid-table. We'll focus on the lower table. But Wrexham have got a squad which, even if they're going up against the heavyweights, they should be saying to themselves, we need to be winning. They haven't won a game at home this season.
No, that is really unusual.
It is, because they've really always been really hot at home. Yeah. Like, okay, away games, like Wrexham have never really had a hot away record. Fair enough, a lot of teams don't.
Yep.
But like, what's your excuse this year? Because like they've also played some pretty rubbish teams as well.
Yep.
At home.
Yep.
And they still haven't got the win.
Yep.
So what's the excuse there?
Even playing against Birmingham yesterday, they had 10 people injured.
Yep.
Like Birmingham have like a ton of injuries.
They do, yeah.
And they were not playing the best football on the planet either.
No.
And Wrexham had a clear chance to win the game too.
Yep. They had brilliant moments. Yep.
Yeah, but you have to adjust the way your team plays according to what's going on the pitch.
Yep.
I'm not even talking about homework before the game starts and try to surprise the opposition with a different approach to the game and do something that will confuse the opposition, give them something to think about. No, just like we were saying before, absolutely predictable to the letter. And then during the game, where the situation is changing, the weather is the factor, the injuries is the factor, a lot of the factors, nothing changes.
No.
And we're talking about a professional, high-level manager here.
Yep. So just excuse for not winning at home is that missing a fourth stand. Yeah, 10,000 attendance. Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, they need more noise.
Yeah. Well, it isn't. It sounds so. Okay. Kind of. We discussed all that, and it's just more of, I guess, venting. But it's just it gets to the point when, like we're talking before, I would like to. I would like to enjoy a game of football.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to. That's the reason why we're watching it in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at international break, and then we're coming back to play against Stoke.
Yeah.
And then Oxford, and then Middlesbrough. After that.
Yeah. And then Coventry.
And then Coventry.
Yeah.
It's like I see maybe 1 point out of those.
Yeah. If they're going to win a game, it's most likely going to be against Oxford, because the other ones, if they get like the way that Parky's mentality against these bigger teams is like, I'll be going for a draw. I'll be going for early goal, park the bus kind of style football. I think that's exactly what happened against Birmingham, but in the way that they're actually lucky that Birmingham only scored one, because Wrexham get that goal. Dobson, good on him for getting the goal, but then they try to go straight into the parking the bus style football. Their biggest issue is like when they do that and they have to like result in that solid kind of defense football. They're always exposed through the middle, right?
Yeah, well, because
we've seen that really anticipated with Leicester and Birmingham, right? They just find a way right through the middle. QPR the same.
Yeah. So in this case, if we look at this 3-4 games that are coming up, we understand that we cannot expect too much.
No.
Where do you think the improvement is going to come from that? Because things definitely need to improve. Nobody, like I have, thankfully, last couple of games, I don't hear the gel word going around anymore. I think people kind of forgotten about that.
Yeah.
So
well, they've had time, right? Because it's been the same players on the team for 4 or 5 games now, right?
Yep.
He's gone for the same formation, if you can call it that,
because it doesn't
matter.
matter. Yes, 3-4-3, 5-3-2, like the way they play. It's actually, we need to do a whole different episode on
3-4-2-1. I think, which seems to be like what it looks like on paper, but when the boys go out, they don't do that what they're supposed to do in a 4-3-2-1 or a 4-3-4-3.
And to be honest, just like you said, when they do park the bus either with a mid block or low block, it all goes down to 5-4, what's called a 5-4 block. So 5 defense, 4 in the middle. And that it repeats itself every game. And then with the press, I give up understanding why is it so hard to teach the team how to press correctly, and without without creating a massive gap through the central zones every time, because I don't see a single intelligent pressing trigger going on. I see people working really hard, running at their position, but then I don't see a shaping effort. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to face the ball out, start to place and push the ball out to the wing? Are they trying to cause a turnover? The Wrexham getting burned on turnovers. That's what I'm seeing now, and because of the gap in between the lines, and that's just. But I'm seeing that I remember we were talking about it with somebody else back in League Two, and people back then were saying that Parkinson plays the same style, same system, or lack of it over and over again. And I was talking to this guy, and he said, "Look, even now, the managers of League Two had already figured them out. They just don't have the firepower. They don't have the skilled enough players to take advantage of it." And I think that's what's happening right now. Now players and coaches do have enough firepower to take advantage of it, and that's why now we see continuous cases of points dropped, where should be a win, it's a draw. It should be a draw, it's a loss. It's because now the players and the coaches have enough know-how to actually take advantage of it.
Absolutely, and I think. For a lot of championship teams, and this is one thing that I think we should really start kind of like getting into some good analysis, is like we see a lot of the championship teams have got some decent forwards, like not too much. Like some of the bigger teams, Leicester, Birmingham, Stoke, Middlesbrough, they play a good midfield. All of their defense is terrible.
It's not the best.
Like some do play a really good defense. I mean, if you looked at Burnley last year in the championship, right, they were the masters of park the bus, because they had like the least goals scored in championship history, right? But unless you're scoring the goals to keep up, then it doesn't really matter. Like Wrexham, like some of the other kind of bottom dweller teams, is that they've just got very poor defense, and it's just costing them every single game. Now, like Wrexham can score goals.
Yes, we can count on them scoring at least one, right?
Yeah, that's right. You would feel like if O'Brien or Windass or Moore aren't hitting the target in the next kind of 3 to 5 games, you'd be like, oh, something's very wrong. Unless they're all injured, which is also a case,
But then again, we said earlier that the defense is not horrific enough to lose 5-0, or 3-0. They're still kind of holding their own.
That's right.
But I think it's more of a case of, are we defending in numbers? Is it a quantity or quality? Because whenever you're defending, you need to keep in mind that unless you have a key and a recipe to a quick transition from defense to attack, your defense is you're merely a bullet catcher. You are absorbing pressure, and you will absorb it only so much up until something leaks through.
That's right.
So, that's the difference between a sort of wave breaker and a smart defense. And then again, I said time and time again, the biggest issue is that is moving forward, progressing up through the zones, not playing different type of approach every time, not trying to build from the back and then mixing it up with a long ball or a mid-range pass to the flank. Not doing that, you don't give yourself a chance to set up a rest defense, and you're not protecting yourself from turnover. And that's how you become really predictable, and that's how you get burned on them turnovers, because your rest defense, the shape, the proportional distance between players is broken, and they're getting tired, and they're not getting subbed, and they're getting broken time and time again, time after time, game after game. It's just like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing which I see in every single Wrexham game is the centre backs. You've got Hyam, Scar, Cody. They just don't do their job properly, which really stuffs it up for turnovers at the back. It's so sloppy, and we see so many mistakes happening. Which just creates so many chances for the opposition and they just hit it from anywhere out because they sit quite deep as well, right? Which
they
can always be
they are not doing their job properly because just like I was saying before, the way they operating with their midfield is broken, is dislodged. They have to be pulled out of shape. They trying to cover too much of a distance, too much of a gap. Every time the ball gets turned over, when there is a predictable attack from the opposition, when there is a slow progression happening from the back, or there is a long ball played into Wrexham's half, the defense looks more or less okay. They just drop down into that lower mid block or low block, and they just pretty much defend by numbers. But when there is a quicker transition, we don't have the setup of a rest defense to provide zone coverage as you're retreating back, so it becomes a sprint back trying to cover the free zones. And the center backs are not fast enough to do that.
Center backs, they're not fast enough. You CDMs, they're sitting too deep on the other side as well.
Lewis O'Brien is the one who's taking most shots. How is
he needs to decide if he wants to be a striker or he wants to be a midfielder, or Parky needs to try and change his shape a wee bit.
Why is he all of a sudden a cherry picker when he picked up that gift from the Birmingham defender there that he should not be there?
No, he should not.
Since when he's a scorer? I don't get it. It's just a weird turn of events. Do we have anything else that we would like to cover? Do you want to keep the discussion going, or?
I think, look, and before we start kind of repeating ourselves, like we seem, I think when we go past the 40-minute mark in some of the other shows, I think we start kind of like maybe just readdressing some other stuff, because like the biggest thing is what we're really concerned about, and what we're going to really focusing on is the shapes of what's happening in the field. Like, what are the other teams? I really wanted to start delving deep into why are those top teams so successful, because it gets it a bit more transparent of what is really going wrong for Wrexham, because
it's not just players. It's not just players. No,
we've got some great players. This is the thing which we really, really need to keep stamping into all this, is that the quality of the players is there, that is to show what the manager is doing with them, which is the issue.
It's the coaching.
And you've got to lay that out for everyone to see.
Absolutely. We should start going into that and maybe compare teams one by one.
I think so.
Take our time doing that. All right. Well,
our international break. So we'll maybe do some more podcasts coming. We'll back again next week. Maybe a bit more of a shooting the whatever.
Now we'll I would like to talk about actually I would like to talk about 3-4-3 and the systems that can be played under the umbrella of 3-4-3, because newsflash everybody, 3-4-3 as a base for numerous systems is not a long ball system.
That's right. We were talking, it's a tiki-taka kind of style.
It is the opposite. It can be used as a heavily flank-dominated system. But overall, 3-4-3
3-4-3 was Guardiola's Barcelona masterpiece, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3-4-3 naturally forms some of the most triangles you can form. It's just that's talking about on very basic level. 3-4-3 is perfect for short pass combinational football. Perfect. And it's an amazing formation if you play the systems under that formation correctly. But what we're doing with 3-4-3, please just stick to your fucking 3-5-2 and just don't stop. Just stop.
Yeah. So that being said, next week's show is going to be a little bit more loose, like a little bit because there won't be any Wrexham games in between. So, if there's anything you want to hear Professor Ivan kind of talk a wee bit more, like I'm loving it because I learn a ton from these chats, which is great. So if there's anything that you guys kind of want like more in the discussion, the whiteboard is, I hope, is going to make an appearance.
I need to buy it because
we need to buy it. Get a whiteboard. So let us know in the comments, guys, if there's anything that you want, like kind of. I know you've done a couple of shows already talking about buzzwords and stuff, but it's always just for the educational kind of purposes of it. I mean, I love it because I'm learning a ton. Finally, I'm really starting to understand how football works after 37 years. Although it was time. Let us know because it's always good to have these chats about tactical knowledge. It's just something that's not discussed enough, and then this is the reason when we just miss out so much on what's actually happening.
And I will leave you with again repeating myself a little bit, but do not confuse individual effort and one-to-one subs for a better performer with a tactical and operational progress. Those are two completely different realms. So individual performances and team cohesion in the tactical realm is a completely different thing. And this international break, even though people don't like it, nobody likes it, for what Wrexham is right now and the condition that players are under right now, it's the best thing that can happen because a lot of people are playing like half injured.
I hope that the likes of Wales doesn't start playing Kiefer just because he's a better player to play from the right. I think if they are half injured, then it's time for them to have a rest. But because the World Cup qualifiers, it's going to be not likely the ones who are still able to play will most likely still be getting called into the squad.
That's the one.
And I'm going to finish myself just on a little funny note of why I think Wrexham do so bad on the evening games is because they're old men and they're all way past their bedtime.
They're ready for some tea and cookies.
Tea and cookies is time for an early night. I thought. Shouldn't have left my own jokes, but I'm a dad, so
you're allowed to.
Exactly.
Whiteboard is a must for teaching. Yes, Will. Yes, I promise I will get there. But thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.